price truly came to 10. Chapter 1861. Selling face? When Ching Feng heard this, he said with some emotion, "In this world, everything can be clearly priced. People say that the crime of killing one's father is greater than the sky. But if you give him 100 million, 10 times that, or even 10 billion, 100 billion, there is always a price that can move him." After that, he changed his words, "But the key is, how much does it cost to buy this face? If it really costs 10 billion, or even 100 billion, would you still want to buy it?" Zin fell silent all at once. He really wanted to save Ruoli. Ruoli was his own flesh and blood. Even a tiger doesn't eat its own cubs, how could he watch her die? Ruoli was the top master of the Su family, and she was still young. If she could be rescued, she could contribute greatly to the Su family in the future. However, whether it was sentiment or reason, the cost must always be weighed before a plan could be implemented. If the price truly came to tens or hundreds of billions, the Su family might not agree to it. After all, besides him and the old master, no one else in the Su family knew Ruoli was his daughter. They all believed she was just a subordinate of the Su family. It was fair to spend tens of millions for a subordinate. Spending a few hundred million on a top expert like Ruoli, he could grit his teeth and accept that. But if the amount became too large, things would become unbalanced in the eyes of outsiders. Even if they accepted it on the surface, they would definitely start suspecting that something was being hidden. Seeing Zin fall silent, Ching Feng tried to comfort him. "Zin, if Ruoli is the flesh and blood of the Su family, your daughter, my granddaughter, I certainly hope she'll be safe. But in business, we must weigh the pros and cons in everything. If the disadvantages are small or equal to the advantages, then it's worth doing. But if the disadvantages outweigh the benefits, we shouldn't force it." Zin asked in anguish, "Dad, tell me, how much cost and price is the Su family willing to bear for Ruoli? We also paid a great price to rescue Zhifei and Jiu this time." Ching Feng thought for a while and said, "Ruoli is illegitimate, after all. Her identity is shameful, so I can't equate her with Jiu. Let's cap it, within 1 billion, so that the accounting can be hidden. Any higher, and if your wife or others ask questions, it will become troublesome." Zin hesitated for a moment and said, "Well, I'll try first. And I'll fly to Osaka shortly to see if I can find the key person to mediate." Ching Feng replied, "Don't go. The Chinese government already knows you were behind this, but they don't want trouble with the Su family for now, so they stopped at arresting the perpetrators. But if you don't take the hint and leave China as soon as possible, and if someone confesses your name, the government might change its mind and arrest you too." Zin thought for a moment and realized his father made sense. In this situation, the Chinese government had already spared the Su family a little for the sake of face. As long as the murderer was brought to justice, they wouldn't hold the Su family accountable. But if he didn't keep a low profile now, and instead flew to Osaka and tried every means to save Ruoli, then in the eyes of the Chinese government, that would seem shameless. At that point, their goodwill might vanish. Thinking of this, he sighed and said, "I understand, Dad. I'll fly back early tomorrow morning."